We will have a session about development outsourcing as a tool for expanding your Business Central and Dynamics NAV business. So without further ado, let's get it started. I'm Rafał. Those of you who have already attended our webinars, you might know me a little bit. Just a brief info that I'm already 6 years with different Dynamics products. Started with AX, then CRM, then NAV, and now Business Central. My specialty is solution selling, also outsourcing, about which I'll have a session now, and licensing, which keeps surprising me every month at least. So today our plan is to cover the following topics. We will start with explaining what development outsourcing is, or maybe what it isn't. Then we'll consider some alternatives to development outsourcing, how we understand it. Then I'll try to explain what are key benefits of our offering and how it differs from whatever else there is on the market. After that, we will discuss possible applications of outsourcing, so how your company can use it, can benefit from it. And then I'll share with you success stories in form of case studies with our customers. So I will ask one more time if you can hear me well. Please use the chat box to say if you can see the presentation as well. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in. After the session, I will probably answer all of them. If we have a lot, then I will select some of them. So the only way to communicate with me is through the chat box. So just confirm one last time that you can hear me well. I'll type it in. Okay, perfect. Let's go there. Okay, starting with the intro, what development outsourcing is, what kind of need answers. It's worth mentioning that the whole premise of development outsourcing and how we're operating around it is built based on the following assumption. This is actually a snippet from one of Microsoft keynotes, that especially in Dynamics ecosystem, we have a high dependency, we have huge dependency on talent availability. So our ecosystem will be able to expand and develop only if we can add new talent to it, or better distribute existing talent. This is what we are trying to do. In my own words, I think it's nowadays might be somewhat easier to land Dynamics customer than to find a good developer. And this is something that many Dynamics partners and also end customers struggle with. So whenever I have a chat with a fellow Dynamics NAV or Business Central partner and ask them, hey, what's up with your business? How are you doing? This is what I hear, right? That there are too many projects, that there's just so much on my plate, and I could use a pair of extra hands. These are the comments that I get most often. So the wording might be different, but they boil down to this: we simply have too much work as an ecosystem to handle it with the resources that we have. Or there are markets where there is too much work to handle with the talent pool that is available there. So what it does, actually, it creates this growth disparity where projects grow at a steady, very good pace oftentimes, but the number of people we are able to recruit oftentimes is just flat. Yeah, we cannot keep up with the number of new projects that we have. So it will easily result in the following challenges, right? People working extra hours. So number one culprit when it comes to burnout at work, not meeting deadlines. So we have more and more customers, but some of them will grow more and more unhappy because we are just spread so thin with the resources that we have. And missing sales opportunities because we are always full. We are just not so hungry to fight with all that we have for new customers. So when faced with those potential challenges, most of the partners will look for some kind of a solution. Let's see what's available. Of course, in an ideal world, all of us would want a perfect solution, but is there such? Is there such solution available on the market? Most popular ideas are this. So we can turn to like a major outsourcing player, like global companies like Wipro, SAI. They will provide. They can provide tens or hundreds developers in a matter of days. But can they provide really specialist developers like those that we need for our dynamics projects? Nearshoring and offshoring, these are also popular and good ideas. Essentially, it means that we are building a team outside of our country, sometimes in a distant location, which can enjoy certain cost effectiveness. But again, we have less control on the team. But also, this kind of solution tends to be very inexpensive. Headhunters, that's solution number 3. Very good one, as long as you can accept paying high success fees. Because headhunters do a great job. So this is option number 3. HR department, so keeping everything in-house, recruiting people who will screen CVs, organize meetings, and select the best candidates. Is it at the end of the day possible with the complexity level that Dynamics brings? That's a question mark, but this is also a viable and a solution that is used oftentimes. And we have freelancers, also a great solution. The only problem that my partners keep telling me about is that okay, that's great, but the freelancers seem to be never available when I need them. So no matter what solution, what we are looking for essentially are those qualities: availability, because we need a developer now, today, not 2 days from now, not a week from now, but today, because a week from now or 2 weeks from now could mean no deal for us, right? Or a customer becoming very angry. We would like flexibility, so maybe we don't need an extra person on our payroll. Maybe we just need extra pair of hands during our project peaks. So it would be great for us if we could start easily and also put cooperation with the developer on the pause whenever we want to. Then quality, we need to have enough quality to keep our customers happy. So for them, it should be as if we are producing code in-house with our own developers. And affordability, the rate that we have from development outsourcing company needs to be substantially lower than what we can charge back our customers, because otherwise it simply doesn't make sense. So looking at the solution from this perspective, from the perspective of qualities that we are actually looking for, all of those solutions have significant benefits, but probably none of them is perfect. So in our quest to find a perfect solution, we start to analyze another idea. What if we started working with another Dynamics NAV or business central partner um, who make their developers available for our projects, for our customers. Let's see what benefits it can bring from the perspective of the qualities that we have discussed a minute ago. Number one, flexibility. What we can offer for sure is a wide array of developers. So virtually any experience level that makes sense for you, whether junior, medium, or senior level. Junior means at least 1 or 2 years of experience. So we are not talking about entry level because most of the time it doesn't make sense for outsourcing. Also, the developers come in different flavors. Some of them are specialists in creating reports against time. Some of them are specialists in creating interfaces. All of them, when it comes to our team, and have background with AL and extensions. Because at the beginning of this year, we have undergone 2-day training with Dynamics MVP around AL and extensions, so we already work on it. There's no minimum quota, so you don't need, for instance, to book 10 hours a month or 10 days a month or 20 days a month for a certain developer. You just order as you go and then pay as you go. So it means that this is a part-time engagement, right? When you hire a new person, this would be most of the time it would be like a full-time equivalent, so 20-21 days per month. But maybe you just need 1 or 2 or 3 days per month. So this is the kind of flexibility that we offer and that we are talking about. So what I would like to emphasize here is also that it's very simple to start working with us, but that's a given, I think, because everybody that sells something needs to sell it faster in a very simple way. But it's also very simple to finish working with us or just putting our cooperation to a halt, right? Because you might need a developer just for a specific project, or even just for a specific task. It could be 1 day per week, or it could be 2 days per month. So it's very simple to put our cooperation on hold and then review it. Number 2 is availability. These are our KPIs that we aim to achieve every time we are approached with a new request for development. Within 4 hours, we will send a blind CV of the developer that is most suitable for the defined task. And then within 24 hours, we try to organize a phone interview. Most of the time, it's a technical interview with an architect on your part or a team leader on your part. Person who our developer would report to within your organization. And then within 5 days, we aim to start cooperation either remotely or organize like an on-site session when our developer joins you and your team on the premises to work with you hand in hand. So how we can guarantee such availability? The answer is simple, and there's no special gold rule behind it. These people are our employees. We are Dynamics partners ourselves. So we have a team of 20-something developers, consultants. Some of them work on our projects, especially in Poland, where we are based, and some of them are outsourced to external partners or sometimes end customers. Number 3 that we discussed is quality. How we ensure that we get adequate quality is through senior supervision. Whenever one of our developers starts an assignment, especially with a new customer, we will assign a mentor for him for the initial days or initial tasks that he has with this customer, so that whenever he feels uncertain, he can not only discuss some problems with the team, but also internally with our senior team. And then we ensure quality by our recruitment process. We select one employee out of around 100 candidates, giving them, and the recruitment process is very versatile. So we have a look at the soft skills, we have a look at the English level, because English is a must for all our developers and consultants. We have a look at technical skills, problem-solving skills, communication skills. So, this way we ensure quality to the recruitment process. Then we have constant learning. We are, of course, heavy users with Dynamics Learning Portal, but not only that. As I mentioned before, in January this year, we had a two-day session on AL extensions with Dynamics MVP. That is something that really carried us forward and enabled us to accept more Business Central projects where AL extensions are required. And you even don't need to take our word for it. You don't need to take our word for the high quality that we have, because every time you're allowed to use a free trial. And our goal is always to create comparable quality to what you can produce in-house. 90% of the time, the quality will not be higher or will not be the same. But if it's comparable, it means that if your customer is still happy with what they receive, then you will be happy to pay for it. So that's the goal, for you to be certain that the quality that we produce is comparable to in-house development. Then we have affordability aspect. So when you use outsourcing or similar options to outsourcing, you have no structural costs. You don't need HR department. You don't need admin, payroll, who manage your employees. You don't need computers. You don't need mobile phones, because our developers have them. So there's no structural cost. This is only like a mandate cost, so the cost of work. We enjoy moderate rates because we come from a country that is still at a cost advantage to most of Dynamics world. Our team is based in Poland. So this is affordability, and you should think about affordability not only as a cost saving. Our service shouldn't be treated only as a cost-saving option. It should be treated as an option to maximize your profit. Because actually, our developers are not there to replace your developers and to cut costs. Our developers can help you reach further, right? To extend your capacity. So as long as you are able to charge your customer more than we charge you, it will be a good deal for you. Of course, as long as we can produce the quality comparable to the in-house, but that's something that can be verified. So think about it not only as a cost-saving option, but rather as a profit maximization option. Okay, so after having a look at the qualities that development outsourcing can bring, let's have a look how to use it. Well, first, when to use it. Look, this is a typical situation with partners that I know. They have a steady number of employees, and but the number of projects that they do at a certain time varies, right? Sometimes it will go down, sometimes it will go up, then it will go up, it will go down, then it will go up again. So whenever what we need to produce is higher than our capacity here, it can lead to team burnout or missing deadlines, so customer unhappiness. But if you decide to use development outsourcing, our developers can work just for a short period of time or on a specific task, on a specific project that you have, and then be released back to our team. So this positive impact of development outsourcing. And what are possible applications? So when to use it. Now let's have a look at how to use it. Uh, Probably the most natural application is for small projects. For most of our customers, we receive like functional requirement documents prepared by their consultants, and our developer creates a modification for a specific customer. So it can be a list of modifications, it can be a list of reports, it can be a small project like an upgrade or a localization. So whichever task can be described or extracted from a bigger whole, this is a good task for development outsourcing. Number two is help desk. So this solution, most of the time, we work as a second level help desk. So first level is still with your team, so you communicate directly with the customer. And after qualifying the tickets that the customer sends to you, those tickets are then resolved by our team. So this is the second application. The third application is a replacement, usually a short-term replacement. And because from our experience, it takes between 3 to 6 months to recruit a new Dynamics developer who has at least 4 or 5 years of experience. So whenever you are faced with this stressful situation that your developer quits, you might not find a replacement within this notice period. So this is a good idea to call us and ask about the short-term replacement so that our developer can join the team until you find like a long-term replacement. Okay? And number four is something that I've already emphasized twice in today's presentation. We are ready to create business and to implement business central when ARM extensions are required. So this is application number 4. So we will not only help you maintain and grow your existing customer base, but also help you with completely new projects. Okay, let's have a look now at some of our success stories. First, by analyzing where our customers come from. So actually, we work mostly with Dynamics partners in North America and in Europe. We have also some end customers that use our outsourcing services. They come from Germany and Poland. And now I'll share with you 2 success stories of 2 completely different customers and completely different flavors of this development outsourcing. The first story is about one of the biggest food companies in the world, our customer. They use what we call body leasing. So they simply rent each month our full-time developer or consultant. They manage them, they define tasks in scope, then they make sure that the work is done on schedule, and they provide with environment, with tools as well for the tasks that need to be done. In this cooperation, we supply resources. We make sure that the resources are at an adequate level, and we also handle admin and payroll. So this is a very simple form of cooperation where the customer has the full control over the developer or a consultant. And looking from a perspective of an end customer like this, a food company, right? Not a technical company, a food company, they enjoy certain benefits I would like to tell you about. This is Anna from a manager of this company who's explaining that they could significantly reduce cost of recruitment and admin payroll connected with dynamics specialists. And key strengths that they see in our offering are better availability because the typical recruitment process for them was around six months. Better quality because they internally couldn't assess the incoming CVs and the incoming resources as well as we could, and less overhead. So what Anna has already emphasized here, right? Because all the recruitment and the admin and payroll costs are on our part. Success story number 2. This is a tiny company from Denmark. This is like a one-man show. Sometimes additional project manager is hired for this company. And here, the cooperation is more complex. Even if it's a lot smaller, it's more complex because we not only supply resources and manage them. Together with the customer, we define scope and tasks. So we get functional requirement document based on which we work. We clarify it, and after everything is clear, we get down to work. We execute tasks and make sure that the work is done on schedule. The customer can provide the environment. He provides our environment in this situation, and admin and payroll costs are still on our part. So here we have a cooperation of a little bit different flavor, because from Michael represents this company, he says that now he can really focus on what is important for him. So he would go for new customers. He would be more closely to his existing customers, winning more business this way, and can outsource like more repetitive development to us. What are key strengths from his perspective is a good understanding, because he really enjoys the fact that when he tries to communicate with our developers, they understand what he's saying. So they understand it from the technical and the business perspective. There is no minimum quota. Michael really enjoys that as well, because there are months when he orders 20, 30 hours from us, and there are months when he orders 1 or 2, and we're completely fine with that. And he likes it that the service is always available at no additional price. So whenever he needs, he can approach us. There are even periods like 2 or 3 or 4 months that he doesn't communicate with us, but that's also completely fine, because service is so flexible. So now the last part, I'll try to explain to you how to start working with us, because it's fairly simple. Use one of those channels, either email, telephone, or one of our websites. By the way, we have 2 already. So we have NAV developers and we have BC developers, Business Central developers, with a hyphen here. So after you make contact, we'll sign an NDA, because we'll be discussing your customer and our rates. You will have access to our developers, so we'll sign a mutual NDA. After which we'll make a short analysis of your requirements, what you need, and also give you like a preliminary quotation or just idea of kind of cooperation that we recommend. And most of the time we start with a free trial when our developers joins you, typically in your office for a day or 2, and tries to work hand in hand with your team, and you can have a very straight idea of how it is to work. So that would be it for today from my perspective. At the end of the presentation, I'm also providing some links to the websites that we have. There's one dedicated to Business Central. This is our portal. One dedicated to training and help desk. But most important one for you is this, BC Developers or NAVdevelopers.com, where you can find most of the information that I shared with you today. There are some videos, some articles to download, so please visit it in your spare time. So that's a perfect moment to ask the questions if you have any. Please feel free to use the chat box to ask me some questions. Okay, it looks like everything was crystal clear. So there are no questions. As I said at the beginning, we'll share the recording, the slides with you after the presentation. So thank you very much for your participation, and see you at our webinars in the future. Thank you. Bye bye.